Welcome to episode 7 of Bible Art Journaling with Deb, on the road to have coffee and spend time in the Word. Today I'm traveling to fertile beans in fertile Iowa. The cornfields are tall, lush, and green, and the bright orange tiger lilies are in full bloom along the side of the road. The flags are still flying in many places from the recent 4th of July celebrations. It's such a beautiful day for a drive. Fertile is located in Worth County and has a population of about 300. According to the town's webpage, Fertile was founded by William Rhodes, a Canadian who came to Iowa in 1858 and built a mill to process wheat into flour. Rhodes' mill was built on Lime Creek, now known as the Winnebago River. The William Rhodes Island Park is where you can view the Fertile Dam as well as the Rhodes Mill. 2 shelter houses, a wood-burning fireplace, and an original grinding stone from the mill are the centerpieces of this wonderful park. The mill had a capacity to turn out 50 barrels of first-class flour per day. The mill operated into the 1930s, and the building was restored in 1971, which now has rooms for guest accommodations and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Fertile Beans, run by mother-daughter team Terry and Lauren, just had their grand opening on June 3rd. They are right on the main street in Fertile, next to the Fertile Market, and offer a variety of coffee drinks, teas, and Italian sodas. Their regular business hours are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with occasional pop-up hours for special events. Be sure to like and follow their Facebook page to get the latest menus and times they are open. Their baked goods include monster cookies, cheesecake, muffins, and scones, with some gluten-free and dairy-free options as well. They get their coffee from local small batch roaster, Two Daughters Coffee out of Lake Mills. Lauren and her husband live in Fertile with their 2 boys. She says she loves all things coffee and community. Her mom Terry and husband Steve live just north of Hanlontown with their fur babies. Terry grew up in Seattle, where her love of coffee got its start. She's excited to share her love of coffee and baking with all who come visit their establishment. The Fertile Turtle is the featured drink that every coffee lover must try, if for no other reason than to just say it. While there is no indoor seating, there are a couple tables outside facing the street and plenty of seating behind the building on the decks and in the grass overlooking the Winnebago River. I decided to take my coffee around back and sit on the covered deck to enjoy the river views. The sun is shining, the temperature is a perfect 72 degrees, and the birds are singing. Join me today as I sip an iced Americano and Bible art journal on Ecclesiastes 4:12. The verse reads, "And if someone overpowers one person, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken." The book of Ecclesiastes emphasizes that life from the human perspective without God is empty and futile. The loner, too, has a meaningless and difficult life if he is an unbeliever. The words in Ecclesiastes, thought to be penned by King Solomon, beginning in verse 7 of chapter 4, say, "Again, I saw futility under the sun. There is a person without a companion, without even a son or brother, and though there is no end to all his struggles, his eyes are still not content with riches. Who am I struggling for, he asks, and depriving myself of good things? This too is futile and a miserable task. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their efforts. For if either falls, his companion can lift him up. But pity the one who falls without another to lift him up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they can keep warm. But how can one person alone keep warm? And if someone overpowers one person, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken." You have probably heard this verse used during a wedding ceremony, or even seen it incorporated with the bride and groom physically intertwining cords representing themselves with a 3rd cord representing God. Well, it's wedding season here in the Heartland, and I couldn't help but remember a story I heard about Fertile, Iowa, which was rumored to be showcased during a small-town news segment on Johnny Carson, and also written up in Reader's Digest. According to several sources, back in the 50s, the Forest City Summit newspaper ran the following headline for a marriage announcement: "Manly Man Marries Fertile Woman." The Iowa towns of Manly and Fertile are only about 12 miles apart in Worth County, and apparently there have been several manly men and fertile women who have tied the knot over the years. The one referenced by the famous newspaper headline has a wonderful story of the couple celebrating over 60 years of marriage together. For this Bible Art Journaling page, I traced a pre-printed picture of the 3-strand cord with the lettering, "A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken." Finally, I affixed the Fertile Beans logo to my page to help me remember this day as a finishing touch. If you do get a chance to come over and check out Fertile Beans, be sure to enjoy the beautiful views off the deck as you sip your beverage of choice. Also, be sure to check out the Fertile Market, right next to Fertile Beans, which has a unique collection of items. I hope you have enjoyed this time of Bible art journaling and coffee, and that you will check out my blog and future episodes of Bible Art Journaling with Deb, on the road to have coffee and spend time in the Word.